Good evening, good morning, good day, good afternoon. Welcome to Rock the Cash Bar, episode 40. How you doing, Diane?
Good. Corbin just handed me a drink. I'm all good.
Is that a White Russian? Are you drinking?
No, it's I saw it on Pinterest today. It's root beer with spiced rum and just a dash of cream. So it's like a root beer float.
You guys are adults, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're grown-ups. You don't.
I have PMS. Shut your mouth.
All right. Sorry. Then you do what you do. You do what makes you comfortable.
It was photographed beautifully on Pinterest, and I said, I want that.
Can I bring you a cold compress and a heating pad?
I'm not quite there yet. It's that week before. That real good timing for before the election. Real good time to feel this way.
Well, you're going to need your hormonal superpowers next week. I can feel it.
Yeah.
You're going to need them for gloating. All right. That's all the politics I'm going to talk.
All right. We'll see.
I know I say this every week, but I am really particularly excited about this episode. It's somebody that I've never met, that you've never met. This is indeed like a proper guest, and what a guest, particularly for you, but also for me. Go ahead and introduce our guest.
This guest is amazing. His name is Freddie Morales, and he is the lead singer of Devotional, the Depeche Mode Experience, the best Depeche Mode tribute band I have ever witnessed. Let's bring him in. Hold on. Come on in, Freddie Morales. I am so excited. There he is, just doing his work, not Hi. That's awesome.
Freddie's getting the studio set up there.
Oh yeah. I wanted a kind of I was doing my house chores.
Yes, very nice. Freddie, we are so excited to have you on. This is amazing.
Hey, thank you for having me. This is great.
Yeah.
Here together. Can you hear me good? Everything sounds good.
Great.
All right.
Ben,
it was a thrill. I was watching some of your videos on YouTube this afternoon, and I can't believe it. If I didn't know that it was a Depeche Mode tribute band, if it wasn't clearly labeled, I would think I was watching Dave and the Boys play. It was really incredible the way you guys do it. It's unbelievable.
I know. I watch those videos too. I'm like, what is going on here?
I'm so proud of myself.
No, I actually do. I watch every video after, and then I'm like, because I'm always perfecting the craft of Dave Gahan on stage, and I do this because I'm a fan. I don't do it because I think I'm Dave Gahan. No way. I'm doing a tribute to Dave Gahan and the Boys and the music of Depeche Mode and Martin Gore.
Yes.
Yeah,
so,
you get to do what I do in front of the mirror in front of 5,000
hey, that's pretty much what I'm doing. But it's been 10 years now, and I can't believe I'm still doing it.
I have so many questions, which I'm sure will get answered just in conversation. First, this is Ben, my co-host. I know you guys haven't met yet.
Nice to meet you, Ben.
Very nice to meet you, Freddie.
Thank you.
So we've done a Depeche Mode episode before because my all-time favorite band is Depeche Mode. And so I'm so excited to do this. And like I told Ben, I've seen you live, but Ben hasn't. And so the big thing for me is I've seen my fair share of tribute bands. I've gone to a lot of fun, different ones, but I've never seen them nail the full experience of going to that band's show the way you do with Devotional. So a lot of them they can sing really well, or maybe they'll throw on a wig, or they're really fun, but you do it all. You give a very authentic Depeche Mode experience.
No, thank you for that. And that's been because it's been practice and, listening to the fans, listening to kind of like also as a fan, what I would want to see on stage and share that with everyone who's a Depeche Mode fan and those who are interested in seeing what Depeche Mode's all about.
Yeah.
And that's what this tribute show has become. It's just been an experience as an audience for the audience, as well as for myself, being on stage, singing these songs, dancing like Dave and having a good time. And I look around, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then seeing my band members too, join in with my celebration of Depeche Mode's music, and also them feel, I don't know, it's like it's a celebration of Depeche Mode with also my musicians, because they're also fans. The youngest one right now, he's a part of Alan Wilder, and he's an amazing musician. He knows to play. He's like 22.
What?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Big Depeche Mode fan, and got himself an emulator. He spent $1,000 on it, and
Wow.
he would contact me and say, "Hey man, whenever you get a chance, I would like to play in your band." And now he's joining us. He joins us in some of the shows that he's available. Amazing, 22-year-old musician from Los Angeles who's now part of the band of Devotional, who shares the stage and brings his talent as Alan Wilder and playing live. See, it's like we're playing like the way Depeche Mode was playing in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Now they have a drummer and all that, and
Right.
the sound has expanded to what it is today, and Depeche Mode will always be like that, the band that will evolve, and that's great. But what I do is I bring back the sound of the 80s when Alan Wilder was still part of it, and I would say from 81 to 97 is pretty much the track record of all
Right.
the discography, the timeline of Depeche Mode's greatest, era of times for them.
Right. I think I saw
with Alan Wilder and without.
Right. I think I saw recently on your website, I was a huge fan of Depeche Mode 101. I had the VHS of, the whole, like it was the first reality show where they followed those teenagers around on the bus. And I saw that you guys are doing that lineup, or you had that lineup that they did at Pasadena.
Yes, we did. We did several shows before COVID. And it's a big, when we announce, that's what's cool about this project is we don't do the same show. It's like we have, I have different set lists.
Yeah.
And, we do a Black Celebration set list where it's, it's pretty much that kind of era. And then we bring it up we kind of modernize it and do bring the ones that are, up to date, from Delta Machine, Sounds of the Universe, and Spirit. But people want to hear the classics, and we like to bring in the 101 set list, and that's because that's my favorite set list. I mean, it's all the hits. People Behind the Wheel, Strange Love, Question of Lust, Somebody, and Never Let Me Down. I mean, come on, it's a mega set list.
Wow, I didn't even think that would be possible. Like you could literally go, okay, guys, tonight we're going to pretend it's the summer of 1986. And have, like people in the audience just like, they didn't play anything off of Violator.
Right. That's what's fun when you would go to a Depeche Mode concert and you're just like, before social media, now everybody gets a glimpse of what's going on. But before this, it was fun because you never knew what Depeche Mode was going to do. If here in Los Angeles, they would play 4 nights. So you knew that within those 4 nights, there's going to be 2 different set lists of surprises, And that's what was cool about Depeche Mode. And up to this day, we still expect that of Depeche Mode when they come out and tour. And what I do, I bring those gems back that, now we're doing like the tracks Depeche Mode never played live, like Happiest Girl, Sea of Sin, which I just finished.
That's so fun.
Doing a cover for. And so many others that it's just like a plethora of Depeche Mode songs, endless.
Can you take us? Oh, sorry, Ben. I'm sorry. You have to really be like, Dianne, let me talk, because I'm such a fan.
I'm pretty sure we're going to be asking the same question.
Okay.
Could you just tell us like how did you get into a Depeche Mode tribute band? Because you guys are great musicians. Like you must have been like musicians like playing in bands. Did you come together and like just shared love of Depeche Mode or what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I come from the generation. I mean, I live here in Los Angeles. Los Angeles has been great for me I started very young. 25 was it. I was either be an import-export custom agent, back then, or jump into the music biz in Los Angeles. And I'm glad I did. Yeah. And opened a lot of doors for me. I did my original music, got to work for major labels, did remixes, worked for Ministry of Sound, supported the dance scene here in Los Angeles with a radio station called Groove Radio. So from all of that, this project came about, when the MP3 came about, the record companies weren't making, everything changed.
Right.
So, of course, original bands had to go through a tough time and how to sell their music and all that. And I just kind of was tired of the whole business. I just wanted to go out and do something fun, that I can use my talent, that I can collaborate these ideas. And I went to a Depeche Mode convention in Los Angeles, put together by Ray. He's got a record store out in, where does he have? check it out. He's got a record store, but check him out.
Okay.
He's the founder of the Depeche Mode conventions they've done for years.
Okay.
And I happened to go to one of those, and I saw that they had Depeche Mode tribute bands. So they had 2 bands that were up there, but they didn't really kind of, for me, it was impressive that there were Depeche Mode tribute bands.
Oh,
So
yeah?
I got to see them, and but there was something that was missing. It was just something that was kind of just, I was like, well, this is great, but this could be better. And I kind of just gathered myself, because I'm being a producer, I had all these Depeche Mode samples and all that, and I put together some tracks, and then I got some voice together, and we were rehearsing, and sure enough, we did our first surprise show in Los Angeles, and people were like, wow, this is pretty cool. People were digging it, because I've never sung anybody else's music. I always did my original music.
Yeah.
So stepping already into Depeche Mode's music and stepping into Dave Gaughan's persona, I was like, whoa, I really need to bring this. This is not me. This is someone, that I also watch on, and I have to really project that to kind of bring that. So it's kind of like acting. So being a fan of Dave Gaughan already, I kind of just sunk more deep into him, and really, really felt. I watched the videos, and I have a collection of DVDs, and that's what I would just watch.
Yeah.
People were like, wow, don't you have another playlist? I thought, here's Depeche Mode. But they, and that's how I started. This was 10 years ago. And from there, I joined a band. They're still around, called Strange Love. I helped build that band. We were together for 8 years. And
I was going to ask you what happened to Strange Love, because when we first found you, it was Strange Love.
Yeah, things happen in the industry where, for me, it's not about, how can I put this? Being in and seeing the reaction of the audience. The audience wants more, and we have a product here where it can expand, and unfortunately we couldn't expand the project due to the fact that my other partner lived in Texas, and things couldn't work. He used to live in Los Angeles, and just things weren't connecting as fast enough as I wanted to, because of the demand of the audience, and we had to split ways. Unfortunately, they're still around, and they're doing, they're doing a good job, but I needed to kind of up it up and say, well, if I can't do it with Strange Love, then I need to do it with this project called Devotional, and I'm glad. I mean, it's for me, it's now the show is bigger than me, and it's bigger than how can I explain it? When you do a tribute to a band that you really do admire, you really need to bring it, because you get the critics. It's easy for the critics to come out and launch at you, but if you really want to do a good job, and I come from a generation where if it's not my music or if it's someone else's music, we really just put 100% into it. Especially me being the front man, I needed to really bring it.
Well, so I think about this. We have a mutual friend. He's been on the show before. He's a comedian, and he does impressions. And so just doing voice impressions, he really has to get into the mannerisms of the character, and then really learn to throw his voice, because he can really throw his voice to sound like different people. But then I think about you, and I'm like, my God, you take it so many steps further. Like, you have to make sure your body looks like his, your dance moves look like his, you have the mannerism down, that thing where his wrist is laying a certain way when he's leaned over and singing. You've got it. You've got it down so well. And it makes me think about, like, how long did Rami Malek immerse himself to play Freddie Mercury? I don't think it's 10 years that you've put into Dave Gaughan. So have you ever thought about acting? Do you audition for roles?
I never, just now that I've been watching a lot of Netflix when we're here, just like a lot, though I've seen a lot of content. I don't know. Sometimes I am. Sometimes I would like to play it would have to be something that I'm familiar with, like being a musician or something like that. I would love to do something like that. Now that I've had the experience of doing Dave Gaughan on a small platform, huge platform. And not only that, the exposure of also representing the tribute scene is, a lot of people say, oh, the tribute scene, it's so, no, my first tribute band was when I was, how old was I? I was 12. We were just walking to, a local park, and there was a Kiss band playing. I thought it was Kiss. It was I was a kid. I was like, look, Kiss is playing in our neighborhood.
That's awesome.
And these guys brought it. I was like the stage, and it was amazing.
So fun.
And then I walked away, and then I told the other guy, the bigger stoners, the bigger guys, hey man, I just saw Kiss. They're like, what? That was a tribute band, man. Ah, you got fooled, dude.
Have you ever seen Mini Kiss?
Yeah.
No, they're all little
seen,
people.
Yes. I've seen all version of the Kiss tribute bands.
Nice. I am a fan of tribute bands. You know, I know what you mean. Some people roll their eyes at it, and I just, it brings joy. I mean, the Depeche Mode can't be here all the time. So then you have a stand-in that comes in that plays just the hits, which is fun for everybody.
It's like your favorite pizza with your favorite toppings. That's it. Hey, give me the pizza with Depeche Mode toppings. Please, give me right now. So, believe me, I've learned a lot from this set list. And it's great that every set list that I put together for the shows have always been 100% a hit, you know. Sometimes I get that one where, oh, you didn't add that, but it's like, like, oh, you didn't add Precious. I was like,
you get that in real Depeche Mode concerts. It's still an authentic experience. Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, you could do, my goal now, I was just thinking about that, and I told the guys I should do a 4-hour concert.
Your fans
with breaks, of course, you know, but imagine a 4-hour Depeche Mode tribute concert. I mean,
oh my God. Do you have that kind of stamina? Okay, go ahead.
How long are the concerts usually?
2 hours.
2 hours?
2 hours.
Do you ever think about like booking yourself with other tribute backs so you can have like a Depeche Mode and the Cure double bill?
Oh, we do that. That's so common here in Los Angeles. I mean, we all share the bill. Of course, you know, the headliners, and it all depends on your audience and, you know, all that business stuff. But for me, I like to share it. Like for me, I've always shared it with a Cure tribute band. Right now, one of my band members is also his name is Brian. He does the Martin Gore parts and plays keys and all that good stuff.
He's
Brian's
great.
He's amazing. And he also has a Cure tribute band.
Doesn't he do Erasure?
No, that's Jaden Frost.
Yes.
Jaden Frost, another good. See, I've collaborated with some amazing people after Strangelove. Like, I didn't want to keep it just indoor. I've been able to expand, and it was great to work with Jaden Frost, which, you know, we still work together. He's busy. He's he's got two toy stores now and a little daughter that he's supporting. So he's doing good, but he's a great musician as George Michael and also Alan, Andy Bell and Erasure. We created Hollywood Erasure together. So we were able to double bill that. And, you know, you've probably seen those shows where it was Hollywood Erasure and Devotional. Yeah. And that was great because you got a night of your Vince Clarke and his hits with Andy Bell and Erasure. And then you got Depeche Mode. It's like, wow. That's a great bill there.
That's the show I saw at Numbers. I think it was. Oh,
nice. Yes.
I can't remember. I'm mixing up my tribute band shows, but it seemed like it was like a Smiths cover band that opened, and then Erasure, and then Hollywood Erasure, and then you guys. Best night of my life. It was so.
Wow! Yeah, that was such a fun night. It was packed. It was great. It was such a beautiful night, and unfortunately, we are not experiencing those nights anymore due to COVID. And it's.
What's your experience been like?
It's been a roller coaster ride for me. I mean, we were talking about. I just got back from Mexico, which was like crazy because I didn't even think I was going to go to Mexico. I started the year going to Mexico, hitting new markets, playing these new venues. I mean, 1,000, 1,200 seaters.
Wow.
And then we started February last year. We hit Sinaloa and Sonora, which was a crazy tour that time. You know, it's like, wow, you guys went to Cartelville? That's right. We were definitely there with the narcos. They like Depeche Mode. They didn't mess around with us. They're like, hey, who are you? We're Dave Dunn. Hey, he's Dave Dunn. Hey, he's Dave Dunn. Hey, behind the wheel. I like that tune. Hey. I'm not gonna kill you. Go on. Yes.
You're like, thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Oh, that's funny.
That's so. I've had my own experiences and that was a fun, crazy. I still have video that I need to put together and share that with the audience now. But It's crazy. Depeche Mode is expand. I mean, this project is taking me to Santiago, Chile, to Ecuador, of course, Guadalajara, Mexico, all of Sonora, Sinaloa. I haven't gone to Europe yet. I was about to go to Europe before COVID, where I was talking to someone.
Were the audiences in South America and Mexico bigger than in the
Oh my God, you guys. The experience. I mean, here we're spoiled. I mean, here in LA, I'm talking about. Houston is great. I love going to Houston. You guys, just different. Because here in LA, it's like, tribute band. Yeah. Oh, it's over there. All right. He's playing right now. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So out there, it's just, I can stop singing and it's like, wow, this is what Dave Gone feels like when.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. In Santiago, Chile, wow. Amazing, beautiful fans out there. I actually had tears in my eyes when we were doing Never Let Me Down. And for me, that's a beautiful experience because this show has taken me to all these beautiful countries I never thought I would dream of going. I didn't even go with my original band,
Right.
So they're like, hey man, you're running on Depeche Mode's coattails. I go, it feels good.
Yeah, I am.
But I'm representing them good.
Speaking of that, do you have any, I saw one video of, there's a tape of Depeche Mode watching a tribute band, and Martin Gore was saying that you nailed Dave's mannerisms. But do you know in general how bands feel about tribute bands? Are they?
You know what? See, the first tribute band was Depeche Mode, and from there I just learned, because I've seen other amazing tribute bands too. I've seen a Police tribute band. I've seen Smiths. I've seen a whole from different odd genres. So, it's funny because they asked Martin Gore, how do you feel about tribute bands? He was like, I think it's kind of strange and funny.
Weird. Yeah.
It's weird. I know Dave Gahn doesn't like them. He just kind of has he doesn't. He's not very, he's a Brit. He's like, what? Tribute band. Freddie Morales, I'll go off.
What I wish I could tell Depeche Mode and other bands is like, no, this is good for you, because when I go see a Depeche Mode tribute band, I go home and start listening to Depeche Mode again. It reinvigorates my love for them. I may download a new album. It keeps them in my life, where my life, I'm 43 now, I'm a mother, I've gotten away from that, and then it pulls me back into them. And I'm like, no, it's good for your band that these exist. It keeps them alive.
Especially right now, since we're the ones who are out there, in these weird times, still trying to go and gig, because that's all we can do right now. So they're not going to get the real band. At least they have the tribute band. So I've done, probably during this pandemic, the last show I did was at coming back from Mexico, was at the Slide Bar in March, and that's when they closed everything, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Then just recently, I've been getting phone calls and some emails, and this Mexico show, just the same guys from promoters. They were like, hey, we want to do something. I got a percentage open from the theater. The theater is going to be, sanitized, and we're going to show a video, and everything's going to be. So I kind of already have a relationship with this promoter, so he guaranteed me all of that, and I said, great, we did it. But it was the weirdest experience, because it was like, wow, I was just here in February, and it was like full house, and then I come here and there's just cameras, and then just, I would say probably 30 people spread out in a 12.
Weird.
Yeah, it's theater. So, but then you see the cameras, you're like, all right, well, then I have to just really sink in and just think there's an audience, and just play with it and act. And that's what, and not only that, I got more into the music, because I was so happy to be out again. I was happy to be with my band, be out in Mexico, and everybody working and social distancing, wearing their stuff, but making things happen. I'm like, well, then this is what I need to do right now.
Right.
And everybody enjoyed it. And that's where we're at right now too. I mean, I had a Halloween show scheduled, but that got canceled due to the protocols that are still kind of, so we're like, all right, well, and people don't mind. We're like, hey, you guys bought tickets, but we can move them. They did give me a new date.
Okay,
So
that's good.
we're going to try for November, and people are, some are like, no, just hold we'll wait. And if it gets, closed, then we'll get a refund. So people are now like, hey, I want my money back. Come on. Right. What's going on? People are very patient right now. So
that's good.
I appreciate that from everyone,
Yeah. So I had this written down to ask you because I thought this was funny. Like, there's so many similarities a lot of times between stand-up comedy and musicians, but there's a drastic difference here with tribute bands or with music in general. So the idea of a tribute comedian, I cannot imagine working. Like, I can't imagine someone dressing up as George Carlin and going out and telling his old jokes.
I thought about doing it.
Well, the thing about comedy is when you go to a comedy show, you're excited to hear what new jokes they have to say. Sometimes you want to hear some of the old ones, but a lot of comedians are like, nope, I've put out my special. They've already heard those jokes. I need a full new hour. But it is different with like when you go to concerts, you're like, play my favorite song, play the hits.
Yeah.
And it made me wonder if you ever get tired of, are there any Depeche Mode songs you get tired of playing?
Wow. Let's see. I've been doing it 10 years, thousands of times, the same songs. I've changed it, shift them around.
Yeah.
Intros. I think no, because I try to keep it fresh. I freshen them up. It's like you probably, I got to freshen up this joke. I'm going to throw in this. All right.
Yeah.
You're recycling, no.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we do. We rework it. We maybe come up
with
yeah.
And maybe it'll even come out 10 times better than when you're like, whoa, this worked out. Right now it's times where you have to like just enjoy that because it's so much challenging, but your mind is like, oh wow, I got to do this and I got to do that. I mean, I'm streaming. I never thought I would be streaming from my house doing shows in my PJs and right. Then I'm so private, that now I'm like, well, I have to work on my, all right, cool. All right. I got to do this, and
yeah, everybody's had to get creative, man. But I think some really nice things have come from it where, Numbers, you played at Numbers, and Numbers is one of my all-time favorite clubs. And when they shut down, DJ Wes Wallace started doing these live streams and everybody could come on and you could dance in the privacy of your own house. We could talk to each other. You could donate money to help keep the club alive. And, a lot of love came out of this where, we'll do anything to keep that club open and still enjoy what it has to offer.
I think it really did unite the community and not just saying, oh, we've got groups here. No, it just really did. Your followers who really follow you were there. I never got donations and people were donating because I did this full time. I mean, it became a hobby. It was a hobby for a long time and then became a full-time job, I was so blessed and grateful for it.
Yeah.
And working 4 years into it like that. And then, from one chapter to another and creating Devotional was a huge, because I was like, well, after SL, should I continue? Or I was just like, no, I need to continue. And I did. I'm glad I did, because it's really taught me how to really use my talents and what I've learned into now this. And now we're here having a conversation, and we're all learning from this, and that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
Unity in peace and knowledge.
Yes. And love of Depeche Mode.
That's right.
You talked about other tribute bands. Do you have another tribute band that you consider a favorite?
I have a favorite, also Depeche Mode tribute band.
Really?
Yeah, they're from Germany.
Ooh.
And they're called Force to Mode. Check them out.
I'm going to write that down.
Force to Mode.
Okay.
They are 3-piece band, but wow, I've learned a lot from just watching him, and we've become friends.
That's nice. You're not enemies.
That's actually really surprising. Like I would think that would be instant rivalry.
People think, oh, you guys are rival. I go, no, it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like that. Yeah, you learn from each other. Like, wow, that one's good. Well, yeah, he's better than us. He's got better gear. You got a shitty gear here. You want to go there? Invest. that's that's it. Hey, that guy looks better than you. Well, yeah, buy a better suit. Oh yeah. Okay.
I love when you get Cheech and Chong.
Hey, from LA, East LA. What's up? Míralo.
That's awesome. Do the actual bands get royalties from your show? I don't know the rules.
You know what? I don't know the rules. I haven't gotten caught. I don't know. 10 years, I'm good. No, just
we
kidding.
won't tell.
No. There's a law about the sharing of music. The venues pay a royalty to them at the end.
Okay.
They just collect at the end of the year, so it all falls into this rule, I guess. The under copyrights and all that. So,
Okay.
and I actually, before I even got into it, I actually investigated. I talked to some lawyer friend. Oh, you're good, Freddie. All right. As long as you don't sell it, as long as you don't record it and then you sell it. You can sell it if you get the licensing for it. You pay, percentage of that. But
got it.
I can't go out and, all right, here's my 2-hour show and I'm gonna make some bucks. I wouldn't want to piss off Dave Gahan. He hates that. So
Yeah.
there's YouTube of Dave Gahan. It's like this guy, he went to Russia and he went for his Paper Monsters tour. And Dave's like, and this guy's like, here, sign my CD. And he's like, what the hell? This is counterfeit. I'm not going to sign this bullshit. And he pushes him. He's like, and the real guy is like, no, that's the copyright. That's not. He's stealing from me. I can't believe he wanted me to sign a,
Right.
I was like, wow. I was like, and so, so, and not only that, Depeche Mode, I mean, there's so many Depeche Mode bands around the world, and Depeche Mode is a nice community where it's not like Bon Jovi chasing their tribute bands. It's not like that. They actually did. So,
Did they really?
Yeah, I guess for a certain logo or something. I don't know, but it was.
Wow.
Yeah, but no, there was also a fake. Well, not a fake, but one of the managers from Metallica sued a tribute band, and when Metallica found out, they were like, no, dude, we're not suing you. They ended up suing the ex-manager because he was pissed off that they fired him. But that was funny. It made the news because they made it seem like Metallica was suing a tribute band. They're like, hell no, you guys can do whatever you guys want.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, because it benefits the artists.
It does.
It keeps their spirit alive, their music alive.
It really does.
It really does. And not only that, it keeps the new generations, because I found amazing that the new generation is into the 80s.
They really are, surprisingly so.
So that's cool.
That makes me really happy.
It's kind of surprising because I could totally see Lars from Metallica like talking to his managers being like, you can't sue our fans. That's my job.
That's my job. That's my job. Okay. I'm out of the band.
So
I was talking to a friend of mine. I asked her, I was like, well, what should I ask Freddie, who's the lead singer of this Depeche Mode tribute band? And she said 2 things: the name of his tailor and what hotel room is he staying in.
Oh my goodness! Well, the hotel here is Melrose Avenue. And
she wanted to know if you were single.
How many pairs of leather pants do you have?
You know what? I'm so blessed I live here on Melrose that I have my favorite shops. And, unfortunately, during this pandemic and the craziness that happened during the whole protest, the shop got burned.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's
so
unfortunate.
And I don't know if they're going to come back. It's called Reload on Melrose. I think but that's the store where I would get all my latest Dave Gahan, because he was a really good tailor and a good designer because you can go out there and buy a pair of jeans or a pair of fitted leather, but no, when it comes to leather and representing, well, the way I like to represent myself on stage, kind of replica of Dave Gahan, it's style. I come from a generation where I was a new waver. I would I would dress up like Simon Le Bon and Duran going to school. It's like, what the hell's going on here? It's like Nick Road outfits, And
well, what's so funny is our episode this week was Duran, and our guest got strep throat, so we're gonna have to do it another time. But
my name is Rio. I actually for a brief moment, I got my dream come true. I was in a Duran tribute band.
I saw one recently and they were very good.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, that was cool to sing different pitch, man. Simon Le Bon.
It was his birthday the other day.
Yeah. Wow, he's in his 60s, you guys. Looking good.
Looking good.
You know, good life. I mean, he married his model, you
Yeah.
know, Yasmin, and he's got like 4 girls,
Yeah.
and what a beautiful rock star life. That's kind of like,
Great
so cool.
music too, because what we normally do on the podcast is, pick a song and then kind of do a deep dive into the lyrics and break them down and what they mean. And we actually moved into the 90s and we were going to cover Come Undone.
Oh, beautiful song.
Good, beautiful song. So much poetry.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly wanted to cover Rio because in reading about Rio, it's not what people think it's about. It's not, I mean, you look at the video and you think of Rio de Janeiro, but then you listen to the lyrics and you're like, okay, he's talking about the Rio Grande. And he says it's about Rio was a metaphor for them wanting to succeed in America. They wanted to do well in America.
Yeah, Simon is very poetic. I mean, look, compared to what we got today as lyricists and to what we were exposed to in the year. I mean, I was an 80s kid. I mean, I got to see MTV. That was my generation.
Yep,
I mean, Duran and Depeche were my love. Those are my 2 love bands right there. And same thing with Simon Le Bon, great front man. I mean, for me, that's the kind of generation that I was like, God, if I were to make my band, I want to be working with a lead singer that's like that, a front man, or if I get the position, I need to project that.
Yeah.
And then you start you start kind of learning it's not easy to go up there and really express. I mean, I love dancing and singing. So being in that persona and watching Dave Gahan has perfected me a lot. Just watching him breathe.
Yes.
Spin around and then still have breath to, like, you're not like behind the wheel. Yeah, you sing it. You're like, damn man, I paid $1,000 and you only said 4 lyrics.
I know. When you get older, man, you can't do it. And I'm so impressed by these older singers who can do it.
So, speaking of Simon, the last tour, whoa, Simon Le Bon, man.
He still got it?
Yeah. So
we had
Dave Gahan too. Dave Gahan, the last tour. Wow.
Yeah, I went. It was great. I saw him in Austin. We had a guest on the podcast recently that lives in LA, and we were talking about Sebastian Bach, and he said that he will pop in to like open mics or what was it, Ben? And he still has it. He can hit like his range unbelievably. And that is always so impressive to me because you see a lot of these, aging artists that and I don't shame them, but you lose it a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, well, they, experience, you think about 30, 40 years of a career, and I'm pretty sure, there are drugs, alcohol involved, and that really does a wear and tear on, especially them touring, and it's really just, and I've done touring. I mean, I'm not, and I don't even have the team they have. I mean, this last tour, we didn't even take half of our crew. It was just 2 of us here. And then we hired 2 musicians in Mexico to keep the costs down to make it. So now we're at that point, where we used to think big. Yeah, I need this. How many keyboards? 4 keyboards. All right, 4 keyboards and this and some Coca-Cola, right? All right, Coca-Cola. And you got a show. And now it's like, you want to play? Oh, well, this is what we got. And now you got to work with what you got to make it happen, in this challenging time. I mean, I experienced it this weekend. I mean, 2 weeks ago, I played at this theater and I was like, wow. And then after that, we sat down, we looked at the numbers and he was like, wow, Freddie, this just paid like just the production. I'm like, dude, I'm just happy I'm here. And we got a video out of it and we can just move on and then move forward. And now you get to see how this has impacted our industry, especially the tribute scene, the DJs and everybody. I mean, to the cost of traveling. I mean, we have to now, thank God we're, electronics have become to where it's very compact and these machines are powerful that we can take a show and connect out there and everything's connected instead of taking, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, you guys. But that's what's cool. It's like, it's taught me to be even more technical about this stuff, and I want to have the show. I want to do the show. All right. What can I do to make it happen?
Right.
So,
Well, I'm glad you're hanging in there, man, and you have a positive attitude about it.
Yeah. And just recently, just want to say that I lost my studio partner, Sammy, my Australian Shepherd. And, it was kind of tough because I had to go I had to do that before doing the show. So it was kind of like, wow. But yeah,
it's really
tough,
hard. I feel your pain.
it's a tough year. It's been a tough year when you lose your pet.
Yeah, same here. We had to put our hobo down last month, and doing it during quarantine. Like, we weren't even allowed to go inside. We're doing it outside on a blanket. It's you're just like, what else is this year gonna throw?
Right. I mean, I knew Sammy was gonna go, but I didn't expect him to go that soon. Like, maybe he wanted to check. I was like, dude, I'm out, Freddie.
He's like, you're here way too much.
Yeah. You got pictures of me in videos, man. I'm out, dog.
Go ahead.
No. So now I'm like, I feel, that show helped me to help the grieving, because Sammy was my buddy. He was, a pet is a family.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So and now it's like, okay, now I'm like, I have a new vibe here in the studio, and kind of like, okay, what's the next move now? Because there's no shows. I have no shows scheduled. I'm gonna do a live stream DJ stream.
Do that.
But so this gives me time to say, okay, well, now we're entering November, December, and just get ready for what comes in 2022.
Well, like I told you, a friend of mine did this great rooftop show, and the parking lot was full of cars. It was like going to a drive-in movie. And we talked about this on the phone. Like, it's hard because you're not feeding off the audience, but they were told to flash their lights and honk their horns when they liked what they were hearing.
Yeah, and that's what I remember we talked about that, and I just kind of posted something, and I said, hey, you guys, I just want to get your feedback to the ones who have played and gone to experience a drive-in concert. Because, I mean, so I got more negatives than I did positives. And
did
the negatives
you really?
the negatives were that because we're not used to being in our cars, watching a concert, and you can't get out, and you have 4 people, and this is not... You're watching a movie.
I will say at that show, they did get out. They didn't mingle with other people, but they were spaced out enough where they could get out. And there was a big screen up blaring the music, and there was a laser show. And the venue would bring drinks out to their car, so they were still serving, which seems dangerous.
With a big stick, with a big stick, they're like, "Here you go,"
with the mask on. Here you go.
Sanitize. Sanitize.
I would feel so rude if I had to leave early.
I know.
Like, start the car and drive away. Like,
no,
nothing you've done.
Exactly. Let's say, dude, I gotta go. What? I got another movie to go. Dude, you embarrass me. I don't know. Imagine that. That's you can do it in a movie. You can do it in a movie theater. You can sneak up. All right. Nobody knows.
So sorry. We're here. You're like.
You're like, damn, bro, is that Diesel? God dang.
Yeah. Oh, what
driving through the fence next door. Like, what are you doing? Trying to sneak backstage, man.
Exactly. What's that? Wait, what's all that powder back there, man? What's going on? Is that? That's not even white powder, dude.
Well, before we let you go, I have 2 things. One,
sure.
I'm assuming that Depeche Mode is your favorite band, but if it's not,
no, it's actually Culture Club.
Okay, that's what I wanted. No, is it? I was gonna say, if it's not, what's your second favorite?
Culture Club's in the top 5, so it's in there.
Okay.
Depeche Mode and Duran Duran.
It is Duran Duran. How interesting. I've always thought about this. I'm always flipping Depeche Mode Cure, and then Erasure and the Smiths are in it. It's all in that top 5.
Oh man, I have huge collections still from the 80s, my vinyl collection from that. Even just the Depeche Mode singles and the Duran Duran, bands were always releasing maxi singles and remixes and picture discs, and I wanted to collect it all. I would go and cut lawns and, hey, I'm gonna go and cut some lawn. I need that real picture disc. How much? And I would go and grab it, and to this day I have. I'm glad I did. And those were the 2 bands that I would spend my money on. And for concerts too as well. I mean, I've seen every Duran Duran concert.
Wow.
I saw him at the Forum. Get this. I saw Erasure and Duran Duran. And Erasure was just coming out, breaking to America.
Wow.
It was, what song?
Like Touring Circus, or even before.
Yeah, from Touring Circus. The Touring Circus was huge in America.
Yeah.
So that's what they were touring. And that was the bill at the Forum.
Oh, that's
Inglewood.
amazing. I love the song Spiraling. I would give anything to
Yeah.
hear it live. He does not play it live.
I know. That album, it's like a black celebration.
Oh,
That
it's
album
so
is,
good.
woo,
I'm
hot,
going to listen to
caliente.
Erasure after this.
Yes. Yes.
So I text you about, we do a segment for our guests called Guilty Pleasures. Do you have any guilty pleasure songs? And the way we preface this is you love it, but like if you were driving in your car and you wanted to blare it, would you also roll up the window so no one heard you blaring it?
Maybe a Martin Gore song.
Really?
Because I've always wanted to sing a Martin Gore song live, and I'm thinking, because I was like, hey, I just want to kind of, I would do a Martin Gore song. And I'm always singing something off of, I'm always singing something off from the Exciter album.
Okay.
Those are deep cuts. That
very.
So I'll be like, wow, they're very just the landscape of those tracks, with acoustic, and just the lyrics are like, wow, that's very poetic.
That's really fun.
I would do that.
Yeah.
In the car. Hi! Oh, wow.
Sorry, I'm supposed to be Dave.
Aren't you Dave? You're double dipping, Freddie. Why are you double dipping?
You're like,
hey, hard times, man. Hard times. I gotta do both.
It's all on the same plate.
Exactly.
How do you come back like after a show, like after you've been Dave gone for 90 minutes or 2 hours on stage? Like how long does it take you to go, I'm ready again?
As soon as I jump off the stage, it's crazy. It's crazy, you guys, because I have created a persona, Devotional Dave. I'm like, before the show, I'm like stage guy. Like I'm on my floors. I don't think just because I'm the singer, I'm like, waiting for everybody. No, I'm out there making sure everything's running right, working with the stage crew, making sure we're on time, making sure the tickets are boxes ready to go. One last time to make sure the visuals are up to go, because once we fire it up, there's no, and then I go back to my green room, and then I kind of take a deep breath, and then I'm like, I see my gear, and I'm like, all right, I gotta get ready for this, and
you're not a diva because you're not Dave. You're Freddie
exactly. I'm Freddie Morales from Los Angeles.
And you got to make sure the shit runs.
Exactly. He's like, hey, better put that light right on the right, not to the left. You're going to get fired.
No, not prepared for Cheech and Chong, but I love it.
See, they're like, hey, this guy's weird, dude. It's like Dave gone, and then he's got Cheech and Chong. And then it's Freddie. What's going on? What are you smoking, dude?
It's wonderful. Can I ask you to say hi to my friend Angela? She's the one that turned me on to Strange Love a long time ago, and I've been following you, and she's so excited that I'm doing it.
Angela, thank you so much for connecting us all together. It's a blessing, and thank you so much for supporting the tribute scene and, of course, Devotional. And we're still together, and we're going to make things happen. This is the room where things happen. So
nice.
Depeche Mode love to all of you.
We need a hand sign. I don't know. We need a game sign.
Yeah, well, it's this. The world in my eyes.
There we go.
There we go. Let me show you the world in my eyes. Though I'm getting older and my eyes are getting blurrier.
Hard to see that close. Yeah.
It's like, woo! But yeah.
Well, usually before I let a guest go, I ask, where can the listeners see or hear more from you? I know you're not doing a lot of performances, but tell us like your website, your Instagram, where can they find you?
Yeah, well, I have my YouTube channel. It's the Devotional Freddie, and I'm going to be uploading a lot of like daily documentation of how it is living and trying to produce a show and keep it going. So that's kind of like Freddie's life on YouTube. Yeah. And then you can see all of my shows, the shows from Santiago, Chile, from Mexico, the small shows, the bigger shows, all the productions, the marketing. And then you can go to, of course, Facebook. Facebook, I'm trying to just keep a low profile there and just I've had a fight with Facebook. It's crazy. It's been, this whole copyright situation that it's hit all musicians and all platforms that now I just want to kind of but you can hit me up on Facebook there, Devotional Depeche Mode Experience, and then our website, devotionaldepechemodeexperience.com.
Okay.
And then Instagram, Devotional Freddie, and of course, Devotional Depeche Mode Experience. Everywhere on all platforms. Oh, and also also have a new platform, which is Periscope. And I'll be live this Saturday doing a live mix. And then if you miss it, you can replay it. And that's another platform where I get to connect with all of you.
Perfect.
Share my talent.
Thank you so much. This was such a pleasure.
Really appreciate it, Freddie. Thank you. Great
Thank you so much. Yeah, and we'll get together soon and party hardy.
Yes, we will.
Yes.
Next time you come through Houston, when this is all over, we're going to cheers some drinks. We're going to have some fun.
That's right. Love you, Houston. Love you all.
Thank you, Freddie.
Thanks, Freddie.
All right. Now here's the weird, how do I get you out of here? You go.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome.
Was a lot of fun.
That was great.
If he plays Numbers or House of Blues or something like that, wouldn't it be great to be front row center for that?
Yes, and talk to him before and after. I got him in now. I'm so excited. I'm telling you, Ben, the last show he did at Numbers, it was like the Smiths, Erasure, Depeche Mode, and it was fucking incredible. It was so much fun.
I wish I wanted to encourage him to okay, yell at somebody as if you are Dave Gahan, with the English accent, going back and forth between the East LA accent. now you're doing it fucking wrong.
That's really funny.
I really like that. And halfway through, it totally creative. I don't know if we've talked about this before, and if not, why not? Felipe from Las Scarnales.
Yeah.
We should be able to track him down and get him on the podcast.
Sure. Yeah. I used to kind of see a guy in that band for a brief time.
I know him a little bit from Lalo. He used to play not with Scarnales, but he would come through and play with bands for special occasions. Okay. And he'd come through there a little bit. So I kind of know him. I could find him on social media and say, hey, I'm Ben from Lalo. Remember me? Yeah.
He remembers me. We met. So maybe we can ask him. Yeah, we're just talking shop for everybody now, but I do want to get into some business, and then we'll talk some more shop.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. They can hear us.
We're still live? I thought we were done.
Well, I want to say what's going on next week. I can cut all that out if we need to. All right. So next week, hey, we're the Monkees. This is exciting. Comedian.
Our old friend Scotty Blanco is going to come on and talk about the Monkees. Couldn't have a better guy to talk about them.
I'm super excited because it's one of those bands that I feel like I don't know their music. And then Corbin's a huge fan and he's like, are you doing this song or this song? And I was like, oh, I do know the Monkees. I know a lot of the Monkees.
It's going to be weird because the Monkees are one of those bands who are just like, oh yeah, they're good for a laugh or they're good. But they're seriously Scott's favorite band. It's not a novelty thing with him. They're his favorite band.
I was actually confused because I was like, wait, I told Corbin, I was like, when I was little, I thought the Monkees were like a silly parody of the Beatles. And he was like, well, sort of. Yeah, a little. Yeah. But they were also a really good band. And so I'm like, I have so much to learn. I'm going to let Scott take most of the reins on this one. So I'm really excited. All right. Well, that wraps up our first interview style. I mean, we didn't do any deep diving into lyrics, but that was a fun change of pace. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. I really, really enjoyed that episode.
All right. Special thank you to Chuck Savage and Eddie Hawkins for our amazing intro music. We didn't do any guilty pleasures this week. Well, yeah, we did. No, yeah, we did.
We kind of did.
So thank you, Sarah, for your vocals on that. If you would like to support the podcast, you can join our Patreon for $5 a month at patreon.com/rockthecashbar, or just tell a friend, share with a friend, keep this moving. A lot of you guys have been listening and sharing, and I thank you so much for that. A part of our Spotify playlist, Ben, I'm going to run this past you. Corbin had an idea that since most of our songs are guilty pleasure songs on there now, and he thinks it's a terrible playlist, he said, what if you guys did a segment where you talked about a new band you had come across or something else you're listening to? I don't listen to enough new music to make that happen. Do you?
I'm sure I can drum something up. Maybe we should do like a local segment or something like that.
No, that's a good idea. All right, we'll think about that. You guys don't be afraid to ask us.
Our playlist is fantastic. I'm going to be playing the Spotify playlist at Grand Prize eventually. It
Good. Will happen. Good. I agree. I enjoy it a lot. So, God, there was one more thing. I keep forgetting to tell you. I put a thing on Instagram asking, most of the podcasts have a name for their listeners. And my friend Michelle nailed it. And she was like, how about barflies? So
I like it.
we could be
I
like,
like it.
hello, barflies. I don't know if anybody wants to be called a fly, but I don't know. We can try it out.
Good evening, barflies.
Oh, no. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next Thursday with the Monkees and Scott White. Oh.
Vogue.